Hi, it's Sai. My time here on YouTube has been long, like 8 years. I started off with doing speed paints. My very first video was My Little Pony speed paint of an anime I watched at the time called Marry Nikki. It's cringe, I know, but it's how I started. And for 1 year, I have been doing those until I uploaded my first animation meme. It was called You Are My Best Friend, and I loved animating since. I was known for doing animation memes to my small audience until I stopped since I didn't feel like doing social media anymore because of how toxic it was. But I mean, who am I kidding? It's bound to happen. So I came back to continue and ignore hate comments or laugh at them if I get them. I still plan on doing animation memes along with my commentary videos since I personally love animating and don't want to stop doing them. For today's video, I just want to document my old and new redo animations. I feel like it could be fun for y'all to see the behind the scenes of making it and all the details of my thought process. Also, I noticed in my new videos that in the background you could hear my PC, and I am so sorry about that. It is on my desk and it's very loud, so my apologies if you hear that from now on in my videos. I'll try as possible to edit them out, but who knows. Okay, so let's get on with the video. So like I said in the start, my first meme was You Are My Best Friend, but we are not redoing that meme since it's simple and it's its own thing. There's no need to redo it, so we are moving on to the second one, which is the Posin Meme. So me and this person, Nanami, are friends in real life. Like, we met physically. I met them in a meeting and went to play volleyball with them. And they spoke to me about art and our YouTube channels and My Little Pony characters. And that's when I spoke to them about doing an animation meme collab together. So that's the origin of the old meme I made. When we worked on it, I decided we were going to do dabs instead of hand-to-hand or hoof-to-hoof in this meme dance, since it seemed hard to do that at the time, and dabs were popular at the time too. Also, I will warn y'all, in the meme, I traced the poses from some bases since this was in my learning time of drawing, and I used to trace as a child. I was 13 at the time, so my apologies. I don't trace now, and I even try to stray away from referencing even because of how bothered I was that I traced back then. But anyways, in the description of this video, I wrote that I forgot my OC's wings. I did that a lot back then, so it was common for me for forgetting them. For the background, I just downloaded a YouTube video of an old film strip, and I called it a day. Alright, now for the new one, I had a new design of my Little Pony character. I had this concept art of them, of what I wanted, and a reference of them now, of how I officially want them to look like. I started working on the poses first, seeing which ones fit said pony's personality. I honestly hated how their wings or tails covered most of the poses, but like, what could I do? I used one of the poses as my ref sheet now and made a cutie mark for him. I like how they turned out, but two other ones, I don't like how they look. They look kind of weird to me. For the dance part, I just used Nanami's part so I could draw myself onto it. They didn't know how we were gonna do it, like the dance, but I assured them that I had an idea. I remember they asked me this when I was getting ready to head to work to my restaurant job. Just wanted to mention that memory. Anyways, I drew where the pony's body would be and had to do the opposite of Nanami's. Like if their leg was going backwards, I drew my pony's leg going forward. Also how my wings will move in and out in just 3 or 4 frames, I think. It was kind of fun to do it. And then drew the hoops on top of theirs by doing a top layer on one pony and switching the layer to another layer that is below. That's all I did for the meme. I'm sorry, I wish I recorded the way I edited it, but for the rest of the memes I could only show you the layers of what I did for the others, but for this one I kind of deleted the files so I could make space on my laptop, so my bad, so sorry. Anyways, for the background I had to make the movie strip look old and make it move how like an old film would look. Then I had to add like the old deterioration look of an old film, and that's it. So here are the comparisons side by side.
Here's a dance you ought to do. Let me introduce to you Posin. Everybody pose. Here's a dance you ought to do. Let me introduce to you Posin. Everybody pose.
The next one was the Posin Meme, but my sister refuses to animate again, so I physically can't do a remake. Maybe one day she will want to, but for now, I don't know. So for the second meme I did, it was the pop culture meme. When I did the old one, I named it Pup Culture because I thought that was like what it was called, but I know better now, so I did Shinx, a Pokemon my sister had. It was the child of one of her Pokemons, and it was named Lynx. I know, original, but that's what I named him. I chose to do Shinx since I took inspiration from Wolfie Chew's video where they did Rockruff. I'm kind of embarrassed about the old meme. I feel like I did an awful job on the crying and growling scene. It looks so wonk and just not fitting. So for the new one, I wanted to do a cute chibi style instead of the weird long like body in the original. Back then, I didn't know how to draw teeth, so for the new one, I was fine. I love drawing teeth, so I was covered on that part. The crying scene was swapped with like a chibi tear on its eyes instead of a full-blown crying look. I don't really have the editing either, sadly. Like I said, I deleted it to make space. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I wish I still had them, but for my other memes, I have them, I swear. For the background, I made it yellow since it's the contrast color of blue, and made the background have like a beat circle thing, I don't know what to call it, and made the area get darker once he was doing the growling scene. That's all I have for this one, and it was pretty simple. Here are the comparisons. The next one was the WIMB Meme, but I contacted them and we are working on it on our own pace, so it may come out much later. I'll make a video for those that I'm working on later. So on to the next one, which is the Jylo Meme. Jylo? I'm gonna call it Jylo. So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do these memes in order because I thought of this idea when I did the WIMB meme. So this one is my most recent, as you could see in the redo's post date. So for the old meme, I kind of didn't like how human-like the pony looked. Also the eyes, like I thought it was a cute eye look, but it looks creepy now. Also, I hate how the wings aren't moving and it's just the tail. It's kind of boring in a way. For the new one, I made my pony's eyes look kind of weird in the beginning, but I fixed it later on and animated the tail and wings separately from the different body poses I did. The tail and wings were their own layer so they could move in the background while the body stood still, and changed when I needed to. The wings were so fun to animate. Unlike the tail, I hated doing that. I just copy and pasted the highlights because I needed it to look consistent, so that's what I did. For the editing, I don't have the recording, like I said, but I do have the files and layers. Here, I'm just showing every layer I did and separating it to show y'all the layers. In the first layer, I did the effects to make it look like more finished. For the second layer, I grouped the whole thing together, and then for the text as well. And for the background, I made the X's bounce to the beat and did the background just being the background. In the grouped folder, I have the poses and the tail animated and the wings animated separately from the body. Lastly, I'm just showing how I made the X's bounce and the graphs I used. That's all, pretty much. Anyways, here are the comparisons. Also, to warn, I got a slowed down audio, unlike the original, so my bad if it's a little offbeat.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from.
For the hungry meme, I reached out to my friend. They are also a friend I've met in person. We met in school and talked about our channel and we collabed, but I reached out lately and told them if they were interested in remaking it with me, and they agreed. In my old meme, I said in the description that it took long because Flora, now known as Soul, was having a hard time with communication and editing on their part, so I helped by finishing the editing for them. I won't blame them, obviously. Now they were in this one very responsive and very quick, so it's fine. They were probably very busy back then. You may notice a pattern, but I like using images off of Google. I mean, like anybody else who did animation memes back then. Anyways, it started with my part first, which looked kind of odd to me. It's because the star eyes especially, and then it was their part. On the last part, it was both of us, and I didn't do the hopping beat animation thing on them on the last part. At the end of the video, they drew us as ponies. I thought that was very cute. Ugh. So for the remake, y'all have already seen this process from my How I Animate video. Go watch it if you haven't. The sketch was ugly at first, but I got the hang of it later on. I animated the blinking and the biting part. I wanted to animate it instead of doing the no animation route like the OG, you know, just like the images bouncing, you know, but Soul animated it and I showed them a ref inspo video and had to go ham on the animation with them. Then I moved on to the food and I did a cookie and a sushi and a hamburger. For the editing part, I was gonna do it like the original, where I did the first part and they did the second part, and on the third part it was gonna be both of us. But Soul did it like the ref inspo video, so I stuck with having 2 parts only. Again, I'm not gonna blame them. I didn't specify what I wanted, so that was my bad on my part. Anyways, for the editing part, you can see that I added an effect to make it look finished. I think it's called filters. Then the editing of the text and showing how the graphs work. Then the group where my part is and showing the separation of the food and the body. I also shaded both mine and Soul's part. I shaded the characters individually, like light and then shadows and then, you know, that stuff. After all that, I did the background to be stars and moving, pink for their part and blue for mine. The outro was a rendered piece I did of one of the frames. I feel bad that the thumbnail was just the same drawing and I didn't draw one of me and Soul like they did. I feel so bad. They actually did a thumbnail of my pony and her, so, but I can change it later in the future when I got time. So anyways, here are the comparisons. So the next one was the boys meme, and I won't do this one yet since this meme was about my Pokemon Gajinkas, and they have a redesign, so I will make this meme once I make the video of introducing them in my Pokemon Gajinka series. So stay tuned for that remake meme once I do make the video of the redesigns of my Pokemon Gajinkas. The next one was work meme, and I won't redo this one at all, never, since it's so cute already and I don't need to make a remake. It's perfect already. Don't fix what's not broke, you know? So on to the YMB meme. Like I said, the YMB meme was the first meme I redid. So for the old YMB meme, I put in the description that I took a year, and yes, it did because of my stupid lazy ass not wanting to finish it. Bless Nanami is hard for being patient with me. Oh my god. Also, I wrote that during the editing, my editing software was lagging, and I could vouch for that because I was using an old Windows 7 laptop that looked like a brick and ran at like 20 gigabytes or some shit. It was awful. Anyways, for the old meme, I animated the swishing part as a chibi version of Scarlet. That's what I named the OC I made for these memes. She no longer exists, but I decided to redraw her and using her these last few times for the redos. Alright, for the swing swaying part, I kind of referenced the inspo video. Oops. Personally, I hate how the movement looks in the part where Scarlett's holding the boba. Also the sending Nanami away part where we are poking our own faces. I hate how Scarlett's hair color moves, like I talked about in my how I animate video. Also, the animation looks stiff. The dynamite part looks weird, how Scarlett's mouth keeps moving despite the audio had no more talking in it at the end of the part, so she just kept going even though it stopped talking. The hit him with the part, the hands look off, my god. Lastly, the OG has me going up to Nanami and she throws a plushie of my sister's pony Sona at me. In the new one, I took this out completely, as well as the next part that repeats the animations. I don't know, I didn't want to add that part to the new one. Now for the new meme, I worked on the sway first. I made it look more normal than chibi. Also the fact that I struggled so bad with the posing, I didn't know what I was doing. I just did Scarlett swaying to the left and reversed it on the editing part. Ignore me drawing her body proportions weird and making her booty thick. I needed the base for the closing, okay? Don't judge me. When I finished doing the left side, I switched the clothing, like the belt on her side, to the other side, so when I flip it, it won't look weird once she's swaying to the other side. Next, I worked on the head bopping. Nothing else to say than me feeling lazy, and I just copy and pasted the moving the head and hand, so it looks like it's moving. It looks weird, but it works, I guess. For the cheek tap part, please forgive me. She looks so creepy and realistic, and I hate how it looks like now. Ugh, it looks so weird. I also got lazy and just copy and pasted while moving the hand, so my bad. For the chibi then moving to the side part, I just drew her going to the side and rendered her. I love how this turned out. It's one of my favorite parts. For the pushing Nanami away part, I animated some thumbnails on Flip-a-Clip, which is why you see me pasting some already drawn poses of Scarlett. I wanted to try it out and I didn't quite like it. If you do, please don't tag me. I just line arted them in Procreate instead, adding some in-betweens too, here and there. For another of my favorite parts, the hit 'em with the part, I animated Scarlett in such a cool pose in my opinion. The hand was so well animated, as well as the shoulders and lip syncing. I think the movement worked well and it was just exactly what I envisioned. I animated the lip sync after the body. I think you could see that in the ending. Lastly, for the dynamite part, I just drew Chibi Scarlett in her pose. I was gonna animate the hair and skirt to the explosion, but I got so lazy and didn't do it. Ugh, it was a missed opportunity. I'm sorry. Lastly, I just did the lip sync after, and that's all. Again, I did this meme very, very late. Nanami had her part already done, and I just took so long. Again, bless her heart. God damn, I made her wait so much. I don't have the files to show y'all how I animated it, so my bad. And all I did was animate Nanami getting launched and Scarlett and Nanami moving to the side. Here are the comparisons.
Jiggle, jiggle, pop, pop my hips, let her rock, okay? Swing left, swing right, my weave in tight, yeah! Hit her with that boost, dynamite, yeah! Hit her with that boost, dynamite, yeah! Jiggle, jiggle, pop, pop my hips, let her rock, okay? Swing left, swing right, my weave in tight, yeah! Hit her with that boost, dynamite, yeah! Let's see my booty feeling.
Now for the last meme, which is the ghost meme. In the description of both versions, I wrote the Scarlett didn't have an evil side, and I only did one for the meme. And I do mean it. Even now, she doesn't have one. It's only for the meme. So for the old meme, I really hate how I animated the head bopping of Scarlett in the first part. The hair colors move again. The lip syncing is just her opening and closing her mouth. It's bad. For the second part where her evil side appears, the ghost thing looks too awful. It's cropped in a section and the animation is stiff. The part where their half body appears, it's fine, just her evil side's hand looks a little odd or whatever. Lastly, for the sketchy part, she's supposed to look like she's getting possessed or some shit. I don't know, it's like edgy and weird. Oh, also the ending drawing looks mid. Anyways, for the redo, I started with her face and switched between her evil side's face and hers. Then the same process with the hair. I sketched out the rest of the frames, then back to line arting the head bobbing part. After that, I animated the ghost thing. It looked kind of cute now, unlike the old one, but I wanted it to look kind of cute in this one. So after that, I drew the sketchy part where she's like getting possessed by the evil side. I made it look more cool rather than a weird edgy look. I then worked on the lip syncing part so it's not just her opening her mouth and shutting it. In a different canvas, I drew the half body part where she's like the angel and the evil side's like the devil type parallel, and finally rendering it in my rendering style, kind of. I wanted to make it look like a complete drawing. Same goes for the ending drawing as well. I wanted it to look more finished rather than sketchy. I love how I render them. Also, I forgot to mention for the evil side, I changed the eyes to the black instead of yellow. Tokyo Ghoul style, hell yeah. That's all really. For the editing, all I did was put everything together and add a vignette to follow the characters' movements so it looks like a spotlight moving towards the characters that appear. I would show the files, but it's not very special. Also, for the background, I just animated the circle moving to the beat. Anyways, here are the comparisons.
I must be dreaming 'cause I don't believe in ghosts, yeah. I don't believe in ghosts. 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 Do you remember the day in October?
Now, like I said, this was the last meme because I'm not doing the Lena problem. I'm gonna do that probably way later, but right now I really am not interested in redoing it. Like, I physically gave up on it because I was really not into it. And for the I love you meme, the person I collaborated with on this meme does not draw or animate anymore. And same goes for the Love Bloom one, since it's the same person as well. Also, I'll redo the Love Bloom meme in its own since I found out that it's also known as the Willow Tree meme, so I'll do that one instead. Alright, that concludes the beginning of this journey. I'll name it the starting era since the next one will be the Kirby era, where I'll redo all the Kirby memes that I did. Of course, y'all will see the memes once they come out and I'll make this video afterwards, so you'll see the memes beforehand, don't worry. I'm excited for that era since I'm back into the Kirby fandom, so I'll definitely put my full heart and soul into these redos. I hope you really like the redos better than the original ones. The original ones are just so embarrassing and I wish people could forget about them and I wish I could delete them, but if I want people to see the redos and the differences, I have to keep them up, sadly. So I hope you guys like the redos, really. I tried my best. Anyways, thank you for watching, like and subscribe for more, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.